As time has gone by, more and more previously overlooked games have received newfound attention. That's why I was eager to play a remake of a very niche duology that I thought had been long forgotten. Another Code Recollection is a remake of two games. The first is Another Code 2 Memories, which was originally released on the Nintendo DS. It was known as Trace Memory Another Code in North America. The second game is its sequel, Another Code R, A Journey into Lost Memories. Originally for the Wii, it was only released in Japan and Europe. While I have talked about the first Another Code on this channel, I did play the sequel, so I was definitely interested in experiencing that for the first time. For those that are unaware, Another Code 2 Memories follows our protagonist Ashley Mizuki Robbins as he searches for a long-lost father on the mysterious Blood Edward Island. He's also accompanied by a ghost known as D, who is in search of his missing memories. Both games receive a full top-to-bottom remake treatment. Not only have the graphics and art style been enhanced, but you can now explore each area in fully 3D environments. The characters have received some tweaks in their designs as well, giving them a kind of cel-shaded appearance within the three-dimensional world. Most of the cutscenes are presented in manga-style panels, and a few of them are more cinematic. Ashley's outfits have been given some modifications as well, which look quite nice. I particularly like the rocker girl clothing she wears in the sequel. There are also all new puzzles to solve, which are made to accommodate a Nintendo Switch, as opposed to a DS or Wii control scheme. Appropriately, Ashley's dash device now resembles an undocked Switch, instead of a Nintendo DS. Much like the original game, I can't say any of these new puzzles are terribly difficult, but they also aren't insultingly easy either. One of the best graphical updates for 2 Memories is the improved and expanded upon Edward Mansion. It was already fun to explore the abandoned grandeur of the original, and the remake adds a whole new level of immersion. It really makes you want to step right into the game and walk through it yourself. It's lonely and a bit eerie, but also not quite scary, especially when you have a spectral friend by your side. Something else I thought was a nice touch were Ashley's little notes on the map screen. It's a small detail, but a nice bit of in-character enhancement to the experience. Another big feature added to the remake collection is full voice acting. All of it is pretty solid, with Ashley's being a particular standout. Though she certainly has her moments of understandable frustration, she definitely sounds like a girl that's full of spunk and energy, but is also very compassionate and empathetic. Those are qualities I always liked about her character, so I'm glad her voice acting was able to embody that.
Can't believe I've made friends with a ghost. What a day.
We're friends?
Aren't we?
The music also provides some fantastic ambiance. It sounds mysterious, lonely, tense, and beautiful all at once, which fits the enigmatic setting of the game perfectly. The narratives to the game are largely the same as before, with some changes that are more significant than others. Nika Suzuki returns as lead writer, and a few other former Sing dev team members have come back as well. Among these changes are making the stories more streamlined and easier to follow, as well as making the ending of the first game segue into the beginning of the second one. That way it feels like one part after another, as opposed to being 2 separate games on one cartridge. And I won't spoil the surprise, but there's a few cute Easter eggs for all the Kyle Hyde fans out there. Sadly though, the boat captain that drops you off on the island no longer gives you candy. Speaking of features omitted, there's also no longer a recap quiz at the end of each chapter. I'm guessing the reason why is because of the more streamlined presentation of the story, and therefore they thought that a recap would be necessary. It's not a huge loss, but I still kind of miss it because I thought it was a nice neat way of concluding each chapter. 2 Memories is immediately followed by A Journey into Lost Memories, which takes place 2 years later. Ashley now finds herself at Lake Juliet, a camping resort where she'll uncover more secrets of her past, as well as help a young boy in search of his own father. Lake Juliet is full of vibrant, lush greenery, and while the previous adventure had a very isolated feeling to it, this one places you in a thriving, tight-knit community where you'll be interacting with a lot more characters. The atmosphere even reminds me a bit of Life is Strange in that way, especially with the more stylized graphics. It also kindly gives us an infuriatingly irritating theme song when you arrive. I'm going to have to agree with Ashley on this one.
Okay, this is not my jam.
Just like with Hotel Dusk, the currently living and present characters all play significant parts of the story, and all have their secrets that are gradually uncovered. Something else that's similar that I also really like is how the characters are written. there were a few characters I thought that I wouldn't like, and even downright hated at first, only to find myself more endeared to them as the narrative progressed. Overall, this remake is fantastic. It gives us something very familiar to old fans, as well as something fresh and renewed for both newcomers and returning players. I'm not sure what the story is behind the decision to remake these games, but I'm very glad that it happened. While I certainly liked the original Another Code for the DS, the Recollection gave me a whole new appreciation for the story and characters. I'd even say that the remake even exceeds the original in a lot of ways. Hopefully this means that Hotel Dusk will be considered in receiving a revival as well. While I still think the original is great as it is, it would be interesting to see what a full remake treatment of those games would be like, as well as giving more people an opportunity to experience it for the first time. Maybe we'll even finally have Ashley and Kyle cross paths. I'd definitely be interested in seeing the dynamic the two might have, one with Kyle being stoic and snarky, and Ashley being enthusiastic and naturally friendly. Not only that, I'd love to see the no-nonsense Kyle's reactions to the existence of ghosts, and the fact that Ashley made friends with one. Still, with both of them having a strong desire to help people, I think they'd get along. Until that happens though, I would strongly encourage people to go play the Another Code Recollection, whether you're a returning fan or a new one. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to click like, and subscribe if you want to see more.